Hi guys, it's Emily, and today I'm here to talk about three more of the books that I read in September. I'm trying out a new thing where I only talk about three books at a time so that I can give more explanation and my videos won't be so long. So let's get right into it. The first book that I want to talk about is The Midnight Watch by David Dyer. The glare is terrible. I heard about this on Jenny King's channel back in like April or May because she got an arc of it and she reviewed it and she talked about it really well and it really interested me. This is about the Californian, which is a ship that was really close to the Titanic that night it sank. It was only like a mile or two away, and it was even closer than the Carpathia, which is the one that everybody knows went to rescue it. And, it's always been a bit of a controversy, like, why didn't the Californian go to the Titanic? Because there's a good possibility they could have saved a lot of the people, and then not as many people died. And so this book is a fictional account of what happened on the night of the Titanic sinking and why the Californian didn't go. And it's specifically about a journalist who's investigating the sinking and finds out that the Californian was so close. And so he's going around trying to figure out why they did not go and try to help the boat. And it's really fascinating read. It's really sad though because you're like, why didn't they go? They could have saved all those people. And, there was miscommunications and, like the captain of the boat didn't think it was serious. And so he didn't respond to the second mate's warnings. And then, like, the guy who ran the radio went to bed that night and, like, didn't hear any of the messages that the Titanic sent out. And so it's just very sad. And you're like, you just feel like so many lives were wasted because these people on the California did not go. So yeah, it's really sad, but it's really interesting. And the reason I picked it up specifically is because of the journalism aspect. I was a journalism major in college for a while, and so I've always been very interested in books about journalism and journalists, and so I decided to pick this up. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you have any interest in things about the Titanic or things about investigative journalism and how, journalists have to go really deep into the story and travel around from like New York to Boston, and he even goes over to England to interview some people. So it's just all about his quest to write the right story about the tale of the Californian. So yeah, next I decided to continue the water theme by reading The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown. This is a very popular book that's been around BookTube and also in real life. A lot of people have read it and have heard about it. But this is the tale of the rowing team of the University of Washington from 1933 to 1936 when they're on a quest to get the gold medal at the Berlin Olympics. They want to sort of, prove the Nazis wrong and show the Nazis up. And so they're on a quest to beat out not only the Nazis, but also the Eastern rowing teams. Because back then, it was like the Ivy Leagues that dominated American rowing. And so the University of Washington, which is in Seattle, is sort of trying to get Western rowing on the map. And it's a very good mix of like biography information about the rowers and then technical information about rowing itself, and then also like historical information about what was going on in Berlin that time and how Hitler was rising to power in that era before anybody, was really concerned about them, and how it was sort of the beginning of the terrible situation with the Jews, the elimination of the Jews was just beginning. And so it's just a very fascinating book. It's a nonfiction novel, or not novel, but it's a nonfiction book that reads like a novel. It's very fast-paced, and you get, lots of good info in very condensed way. The sort of focal point of the book is one of the rowers named Joe Rands, and his interviews with the author were the main bulk of the book. And it's really sad because Joe Rance had a very sad childhood. His mother died, and then his stepmother didn't really like him that much, and so he got abandoned by his family, and he had to pay his own way to school. And it's very amazing what he overcame to become a gold-winning medalist at the Olympics. And it's just a really fascinating book, and I would highly recommend it if you have any interest at all in rowing or, history of the 1936 Olympics. And I also wanted to say that I watched the movie Race in this past month, a few months ago, and it's covering the same time, but it's covering it from the perspective of Jesse Owens, who went to the Olympics and won a bunch of gold medals. And so I would encourage y'all, if y'all like this book and y'all haven't seen the movie Race, you should definitely check it out because it's a great movie version of the same sort of period. And speaking of movies, I actually think The Boys on the Boat would be a great movie someday. So I really hope Hollywood takes advantage of that. Now, the last book I want to talk about is 12 Sharp by Janet Evanovich, and this is a Stephanie Plum novel, and Stephanie Plum has a whole series about her, and she is a bounty hunter. She goes to collect people to get their bail money, and so this book is the 12th book. I've never read any of the other books in this series, but I received this book from a coworker, and I decided just to read it. And you really don't have to know anything about the series to read this and enjoy this. It just references things, and then it explains most of the references, and even if it doesn't, you can sort of work it out. This book has she has a stalker, and so it's about her figuring out why this person is stalking her, and then she also has sort of two men in her life. She has her boyfriend, Joe Morelli, who's a cop, and then she also has Ranger, who's her sort of like on and again, off again flame, and Ranger is being sort of stalked as well, and so it's about how they find out how these two stalkers are connected, and then how they stop the stalkers. These are really fast reads, and if you're ever looking for a really light mystery, or if you need something like on an airplane or something, these books would be really great to check out because, like I said, it's a very fast read. I read this in about 24 hours, even with sleeping 8 hours, so yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And part of the reason I picked this up is because I have lost my library card, and I decided to take that as a sign to read more of the books that I need to get off my shelf. So who knows if that'll happen. I'll probably just end up going and paying the $3 to get a new one because it's only $3. But for now, I think I should try to read more of the books that I own. So yeah, that is the next 3 books that I've read in September, and I'm currently working on a few more, and I'm sure I'll be back with another video for you soon. I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.